soft fade, and then an abrupt stop there. Hello, people on Twitch. Welcome to Dragon Wheels. My name is James. I am the owner / dungeon master for this adventure, and I am joined by these three lovely people. Say hello, three lovely people.
Hi.
Lovely. If you're watching, say hi. Feel free to comment in the chat if, for example, our technology has gone horribly wrong, because I am too scared to look. It goes wrong every week, but we're going to carry on nonetheless anyway. And if you think something's funny or have a comment to make about a specific character or person, please join in the fun. We love to hear from you guys. Today we're playing a game called, it's set in the Retroverse. On Kickstarter last year, I backed an amazing project called Lasers and Liches, which is a supplement for Dungeons and Dragons, which adds in all sorts of kind of 80s and 90s and noughties popular culture. And it's a lot of fun and really, really silly. So we're going to be trialing those rules today with some weird and wonderful characters in a world from my mind. So let's start off, before I go into what the world looks like and sounds like, with introducing yourselves and your characters. Does that sound fun? I don't care, we're doing it. Dan, down there, Dan. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Because
You're going first.
Okay, hello, I'm Dan, and I will be playing the character. Well, he's a wasp. He doesn't really have a name, because wasps don't tend to have names. Even in the Retroverse, they still live in like hive clusters, each performing their duties. And this is a wasp without a hive. But as yet, he doesn't have a name. But he's a wasp. He is also... How much should I be giving away?
I mean, yeah, what most people would know about him, them. I don't know the pronouns to use for wasps.
I mean, no, they don't. Well, no, they do have gender, and he happens to be a he. And as far as I'm aware, anyway, I didn't do biology. B in biology. Anyway,
I think you mean a wasp in biology.
His. So his hive was destroyed. He is the lone survivor as far as he knows, and he wanders the cosmos, the universe, wherever. I don't know.
It's a planet, yes, but the planet is cube shaped.
Right. So his hive was destroyed. And he now wanders the cube as a mercenary, along with his robotic wasp companion, who just buzzes and follows him around.
Lovely, that's great. So I'm sure I'm going to really enjoy the other two players coming up with a nickname for you. You look beautiful, Dan. So beautiful. Nonny. Would you like to go next?
Hello, I'm Nonny. I am IRL. I am a spooky nerd and theater maker. You can follow me on Twitter at NonnyBlood. You sent me the
plug away.
I'm plugging
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
No, you can follow me on TikTok.
Oh God.
I downloaded TikTok a few days ago, and I've been making videos of my cat, who is very cute.
And vicious.
Right
oh.
Yeah.
If we're very, very lucky, at some point during the stream, the cat will just pounce on her face in the middle of it. It happens quite often.
Oh, yeah, it happens. But anyway, I am going to be playing a Ray, which is kind of like a tall elf thing that, like, they were elves and then they got fucked up by something weird going on in the universe. And now they can evolve really, really quickly. So I'm going to be playing specifically a Storm Ray. However, one of the really fun things in the Lasers and Liches rule is a background that you can take called Slayer. So as far as my Ray, who is called Skaha and Terra, because I enjoy difficult to pronounce and difficult to spell Celtic names, woke up one day and didn't really remember much about where she was from or what was going on around her, and keep getting weird glimpses of being some fucking dork called Nonny in Scotland. And so is now just traveling about trying to figure out what the hell is going on and maybe find the places from these weird visions that she's having. And she also slightly believes that maybe this is all some kind of test. So she always makes sure that she's trying to do the good thing in order to pass the test.
Awesome.
She's also a Hollow Knight, and she uses her lightning storm powers to create her weapon.
That sounds awesome. I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun with that. Very good. And David, saving the last one till last.
Hello, yes, I'm David. I am a puzzle game creator. Created the Bewilder Box world, which is a immersive science fiction 80s escape room style universe.
It's probably my favourite escape room.
That's gonna, yeah. Well, I should hope so.
Yeah,
too,
David's my boss.
Except for today, when
I get my revenge.
Yes, exactly.
You're his god.
Yes, exactly.
Is this our cue that I maybe shouldn't have said all the terrible things I know about you whilst you were off the Skype call?
He knows a lot.
I feel like James has engineered the situation so he can be the master of my destiny in some twisted, perverted way. But yeah, so my character is a drag queen dinosaur who goes by the name of Jess Goldbum. And basically Jess was one of the most fantastic and beautiful and incredible beings ever to grace the broadcast airwaves. And one day, unfortunately, Jess's show was cancelled through no fault of her own, might I add. Terrible promotional work from the network led to this cancellation. So Jess, who is really drunk on her own fame, begins wandering the land, trying to find her fans face to face and engage with them on that level, and really just absorb the love and appreciation that they once offered her through the television screen, but face to face, and that's really what gives her power. In terms of talents, she's a synth weaver and he's a very proficient guitar player. So yeah, there's gonna be some cool guitar shit going down.
Awesome. That is great introduction, and I love it. Love it. Cool. So to tell you guys a little bit about the Retroverse and where you all currently are. The Retroverse is a cube shape, and generally speaking, you stick to one side of the cube. Every so often, however, the world shifts and moves around a little bit, and a third of the cube will move around, completely destroying anything on the kind of line that's shifted, and it moves in unpredictable ways, perhaps like once every 30 years. Yes, Nonny, it's a Rubik's Cube. But the kind of what's in the middle of the cube, the center kind of the cube, always stays the same on the six sides and has an effect on the things around it. You guys currently live on one particular sector of this cube, which is quite, or at least you're visiting this current sector for whatever reason. Fans, and it is a large city that you're in. You're in the Cloudlands, particularly in Cloud City. And what's weird about this place is all the kind of land masses float in the air. That no one ever really tries to go onto the ground. You tend to travel around by airships as opposed to anything else. No, it's very unsafe to go on the ground. So you are currently on Cloud City, the largest of the cities in Cloudland. It's like the capital, if you will. And like any kind of city, it has its rich areas and poor areas. And you guys kind of tend to have found yourself in one of the more, I don't know, perhaps Jess has just got there, so she's starting at the bottom of the ladder. You found yourself in kind of a what I would describe as a dive bar, but it is also probably very. I mean, I'd love to go to this place. It's like in my head, it's like a stereotypical kind of 80s bar. In fact, it's called the Dive Bar. There's pinball machines. There's guitars on the wall. There's a variety of music playing, and it does have a stage area as well for when people come to play there. And you've all found yourself there, partly for whatever reason. You have been contacted by someone about a job. They've heard of your prowess in whatever field that you are in. If it's magic music, transforming into a wasp warrior thing, or being able to create magical weapons out of literally nothing. You are well known in your field, and you've been hired by someone for a fair amount of money, and have been called to the Dive Bar. You've got plonked down kind of at the same table as each other, but whoever is hiring you today has not arrived yet. So you find yourself sitting on a table with each other. Let's start with a small introduction in character. I tell you what, which of you do you think would arrive first at this sort of meeting?
Well, Jess would definitely arrive fashionably late. I can assure you of that much.
I would arrive precisely on time.
Cool.
Like I would wait outside the bar until it literally hits the correct time.
Cool. It's like a 7:30 kind of meeting.
I think the Wasp would just be there probably from when it opened and have just sat there because he's got nothing else to do. So probably would have just been sat in the same booth all day.
Fantastic. Drinking? Have you been drinking all day? Does your
but wasps have a fairly good alcohol metabolism.
Wasps like lemonade. I know that much from being a child
Exactly.
and having it on the lips, and the wasps were just.
He's actually really into daiquiris. So he's been having the
honey daiquiri. Oh no, that's bees.
Honey daiquiris.
Do wasps have honey?
And they're not fussy.
They are one of the main pollinators of the planet.
Yeah, they just don't give a shit. They just
That's
like everything.
Fair play.
They're just
cool. So you are sat at the table with your lemonade every so often going to kind of suck it up. When a kind of why don't you describe what you look like? Nonny walks in.
So Skaha is approximately 8 feet tall. She is a bright yellow. And I'm going on what the book was saying, so this is not me being vain or a Mary Sue fanfic writer. But apparently storm rays are tall, thin, and muscular. And I quite like the idea of playing someone with muscle because this is what I have to work with normally. So yeah, she's about 8 feet tall, no hair, she's and big ears, just very long, and very expressive. There isn't much expression going out in the face. It's all in the ears.
And what's she wearing?
I hadn't thought that far.
Completely naked.
She's wearing clothes of some description.
Lovely. You look over to the table, the bartender, when you ask him about the meeting, he points at the table where a wasp is sitting. Do you want to describe yourself, Daniel? I mean, you're
So
a
I'm
giant
wasp.
wasp.
I'm a giant. No, okay, so I'm a giant. It's more of an anthropomorphic wasp. So I do have a sort of a somewhat resembling human-like face, like the lower half. The eyes are the big, like multi-segmented insect eyes, but I have kind of a mouth with a kind of a little nose that kind of becomes a proboscis if need be, and yeah, I've got like various bits of kind of like loose kind of like belts and bandoliers and stuff. But essentially, it's like a naked wasp because it's all exoskeleton and they don't have any bits that you can see. So he's just sitting there as a wasp, kind of just with kind of like straps and gear and whatnot. And then there's also, like I say, a little kind of like a fat robotic wasp. It kind of looks more like a bee, but like it's definitely a wasp.
The belts are purely functional in this circumstance. They're not there to cover anything up or keep you warm.
No, exactly.
To cover up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you have okay, fantastic, and that's what you see. Skaha, what do you do?
I'm just gonna sort of walk over, and I'm going to inquire if this is the correct place to be, and also make sure that I was not in fact accidentally late by accident, even though I know for a fact I definitely wasn't.
Cool. Feel free to talk in character if you want.
Yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen. I am way too autistic for that.
That's
shit.
fine. Dan's gonna do it, and then you'll fall into it magically.
Mm. You're a strange-looking wasp. I've never seen one as tall as you before.
Yeah, funny thing that. Oh, also, I forgot to say that because she does occasionally turn into Nani, that can happen. Gaha is very polite and careful. Nani is not.
That is true.
Who's this Nani you keep talking about?
I'm Gaha, and I'm just gonna sit down with my cup of some kind of non-alcoholic but still kind of spacey. It's water, but it's probably blue.
So you're here for the job?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
After a few moments of really awkward silence, the most glamorous person you've ever seen enters the building. Would you like to describe yourself, beautiful?
Yes. Jess is quite an incredible spectacle. 8 foot tall, 300 pounds, wearing a full-on pink leopard print jumpsuit. The most beautiful blonde wig you've ever seen, made up to the nines. She is glamorous AF. And she trundles down. Unfortunately, the tables either side just sort of are slightly pushed out of the way because she's quite large, and the tables are packed in quite tightly to make the bar as financially viable as possible. But she makes her way over and sits across an entire bench at the back because she's pretty big.
It's a large booth, so you can certainly fit in at the same time.
Oh yes, taking up a whole bench.
I imagine that the wasp would not recognise Jess from the TV. Skaha might do. It's up to you. Has Skaha seen some of Jess's shows on TV? Would she be a fan?
I feel like I have maybe sort of seen some reference to it, but I've never sat down to watch it.
Fair enough. Do you say anything?
Oh, incidentally, just so we've all got like scale, I'm about 5.5 feet tall, so by comparison, not quite wasp size, but still by comparison, very small.
Cool. Does Jess say anything as she plunks down on the table?
Hello, darlings. My name's Jess. This is my mezcal sour. Are you the people that called me? Are you my adoring fans?
No, we're We're here for a job.
That's very funny. That's very funny. Of course, you're my fans. You know who I am. You recognise me, of course.
No.
The ears used to prick up a little bit. Uncomfortable curious. Why?
Yes. Okay. Whatever. I know that you're just kidding. So anyway, this job you mentioned. So you're here for this job as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, neither of you are in charge. What's this
When
all
you
about?
say that, the door to the bar kind of slams open, and in strolls an elf, completely shaven head, and he's wearing like a kind of leather vest with kind of studs all over it, and kind of dark jeans with one of those chains that goes kind of like that has no purpose whatsoever, as far as I can understand. He's got bare arms on both sides, and you can see like this kind of massive tattoo covers kind of all of one side of him, and as you watch, it kind of swirls around a little bit, and kind of moves as he moves as well. And he walks up straight to the table and goes, "Hello there. Are you our free recruits then?"
Yeah.
That's a great vest. Where did you get that from?
I made it myself. Don't.
And what the studs made
metal?
of?
I'll be honest,
Okay.
I bought the
What's
studs
that?
myself. I just studded the jacket with a stud gun.
What size is that? Do you think that would fit me? Can I try your vest on?
Oh, I think you're a little bit larger, but I'll tell you what, darling, I can try and make you one sometime.
Yeah, I'll hold you to that. That's quite a nice vest.
As glamorous as you are, must be Jess Goldbum.
Of course, yes.
Pleasure to meet you.
This person knows who I am. I'm not sure about these two. They seem a little simple.
He holds out his hand to you, and gives it a kiss. He's an elf, so he's a lot
Gigantic hands.
Yeah.
It's the gigantic hands.
I don't know who's on. If anyone's watching the stream, but DM Chronicles has just said that this elf sounds like a stud.
Thank you.
And I'm going to say 100% agree.
Thank you.
Hard agree.
Lovely. And our wasp friend, as yet unnamed. Nice to meet you, sir. And over here, how do you pronounce that? Skaha. Love it. Lovely. It's a very exotic name for a very exotic lady. Nice to meet you. My name's Johnny.
I don't know if I'm offended by that.
We don't get many yellow ray around here, around these parts. My name's Johnny Crook. I run a small group of interested people around these parts. Also, I play in a band. You may have heard of us. We called the Rotten Pumpkins.
Oh, the Pumpkins!
Yeah.
Yes, you came and you were the backing band on my show a few years ago.
Right.
Before the show was cancelled.
Yes, sorry about that. We did smash up a lot of the things before you came on the stage. It's part of our style, isn't it? And sorry to hear about the cancellation of your show.
It's devastating. Devastating, darling. Absolutely devastating. Outrageous!
Indeed. Well,
in fact.
Welcome to my favourite bar in Cloud City. Now, down to the details of the job. And he kind of leans in a bit more conspiratorially. He says, now, around these parts, there's one building, very large building, which takes up a very large amount of space. People just know it as the factory. It's been shut down for years and years, as long as most of us can remember, but no one goes in there and no one comes out. Sometimes we see little sparkling lights of life in there when it gets dark, but no one knows what it is or what it does. What we do know is this: people who go wandering around the factory late at night tend to go missing, with no trace seen of them ever again. We've not been able to get in, but I've got reason to believe that there is something of great importance to me and my friends, and I would like to hire you to infiltrate the factory and bring it out. I'm turning into Dick Van Dyke, sorry. Knees up, Mother Brown!
Jiminy, Jim, Jero.
So, given my normal last horse over the fence status when it comes to references, I don't know if I'm being super overly reaching if I go, I feel like this is strong Willy Wonka vibe.
That you're welcome to reach whatever conclusions that you're reaching.
You know, considering it took me about 3 minutes longer than everyone else to realize we were on a massive fucking Rubik's Cube.
So, what say you about the job? Are we in? Are we out?
The Wasp raises both of his left hands because he has
Two
questions.
questions.
4 hands.
Yes.
Yes. Just one.
Oh, sorry, the 2 hands confused me there. I didn't know the etiquette.
Oh, sorry. He lowers the other one. So you're saying this job is dangerous with a strong likelihood of death?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Excellent. I'm in.
Fantastic. And obviously, it goes without saying, we will pay you handsomely for your trouble.
Sure, whatever.
And are we going to be looking for the people who went missing whilst you're in there?
Yeah, that'd be great. Why not?
I am in.
Lovely stuff. Love your enthusiasm.
Search and rescue, lower priority. Got it.
Secondary mission. I would love it if people stopped disappearing around here. Actually, talking about that, one of my friends, I call her my niece, but she's not my niece. Susan. She went missing about a year ago now. So yeah, stop the disappearances. That'd be grand. Fucking hell.
Listen, darling, that vest you've got there is really quite something. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it's just the thing I need to relaunch my career, my television show. It's the look that I've been looking for. So I'm prepared to go on this mission, but only on the condition that as well as my fee, I also receive a vest which is befitting of this.
Wow.
Handmade by you.
I will get on that right away.
It's going to take you a while.
Yes, it might, but I like a challenge. That's fantastic. The fee will be 100 gold each on receipt of the whatever is powering this factory. But more importantly,
and a vest suitable for an 8-foot dinosaur. Yes,
beautiful. And this might help you as well. The reason why I've done this is because I very recently got my hands on this. And he holds up, and it looks like a key card, but it's completely. It looks gold plated, and he holds it out to Jess.
What's that? What the fuck is that? Is that a gold plated key card? It looks a lot like one.
It is. You very do. You paint a picture with your words there.
One could say it's a golden ticket.
No, it's a key card.
You have no idea how excited I am.
And he hands it to Jess because she's nicest.
It's quite all right. I can understand why you'd be excited going on a mission of this nature with Jess Goldblum. Just go bum. My bum. It's my bum that's gold, not my bum.
That's why I was excited already. I'm so sorry.
It's double excitement for everyone, I imagine.
What?
I said double excitement for everyone there. Gold bum, some sort of mysterious factory.
What?
Good, lovely. Well, there's no rush, but if you need me, ask behind the bar. They'll give us a shout. Loves, kisses, mwah, mwah. See you later. And with that, he struts out.
To the bit, darling. Did anyone even ask him what his name was? What was his name?
His name was Johnny Crook. Of the
one,
Rotting
Johnny Crook.
Pumpkins.
I don't really go much for names.
Yeah. I am fully going to take advantage of the fact that I'm the only one allowed to metagame. I'm so excited.
So if we're going on a mission together, darlings, then we're going to need to have a method of referring to this wasp chap here. I don't know what we're gonna do there. Do you have perhaps a name that you'd like to go by temporarily? Maybe you could try one on for size and see how you like it. And if you like it, we can stick with it. And if you don't, we can throw it in the bin and come up with another.
What about Derek?
I don't really mind. People tend to call me that bastard, that wasp. Get the
TB!
fuck out of my juice.
What about
That
TB?
kind of thing. Hmm?
No, that's tuberculosis.
TB.
Perfect. TB it is.
Works for me.
TW? No, that's trigger warning.
TB.
Oh, fuck.
Lovely. We've named that bastard TB. Fantastic. So what are you guys planning on doing?
Well,
Scott doesn't really travel heavy. She's got everything that she has on her, so she's ready to shoot off whenever.
Well, Jess needs to slam down a couple more drinks, I think, before we go on this mission, just to get her good and toasty. Especially if she's going to have to spend some considerable time with these
I thought
two.
you were going to...
well, the wasp is getting ready to leave, and then as soon as he sees you go to the bar, he's like, I guess.
I genuinely thought, Dave, you were going to say, just a couple of drinks, just to get a little buzz, and then have a look at the wasp, and then look back.
Oh, God, I missed that one. It was right there.
Oh, you set yourself up for it. And you went to get a little toasty, and I was like, oh, God.
Toasty.
Jess. Seeing as Jess is going to the bar, I look up at the buzzing wasp going around, and I mutter at it in hive speak to go to the bar and pick me up another lemonade.
Could you do that?
Oh.
It doesn't speak back to you, but it kind of
I like to think it kind of gives like a few bleeps and blorps, a little bit like R2D2, but like,
woo, it says, and then
but more buzzy, please.
Thank you. And then it hovers over to the bar, and the bartender, who's
Too hard to run poker myself. I got too excited.
when it floats over to the bartender, who's a very kind of large, kind of bearded man. He looks like he's just stepped out of a Iron Maiden cover from like and says, "What?" It just goes, another lemonade. There you go. And then he goes, what, and he goes,
An owl bee.
sex on the beach, all right. And then makes a sex on the beach, and the bee kind of carries them back, and then it looks towards Kaha and goes.
Kaha is actually entirely okay with her glass of brightly colored sci-fi water, because unlike Nani, she is a responsible drinker and does not drink right before she needs to do something important.
Cool. And then
Whereas I'm just going to slam back another couple of these days.
do you have a name for your Zord?
Again, it's like, well, I sort of do, yeah.
Good.
Is it a secret?
Well, I have been asked it by, well, I've been asked by God, but I don't answer God in
That's
in
true.
character.
He WhatsApps me.
Jess looks over at TB and goes, before she goes to the bar, and says, "That's quite impressive, darling. What do you call that thing?"
Most people call it tin can.
TB and TC. That's wonderful. How marvelous, darling.
Your tin can, get out of here, so I tend to calling it tin can.
TB and TC. Jess
Oh,
wanders over to
the
bar
wasp
and-
bought you a sex on the beach because that's what the wasp thought you'd want.
Well, Jess next to Sex on the Beach walks over to the bar and looks down the bar, and there's a group of 5 people who are watching her quite intently. And Jess turns to them and says, "Hello there, who I am." And they say, "Of course we do. Yes. Can I do?
Please do. Yeah, I love what's happening right now. Yeah.
Of course we do. Yes, you're Jess Goldblum. You're incredible. You're the most glamorous creature we've ever seen in our entire lives." And Jess says, "Yes, darlings, I am. Would you like to buy me a drink?" And they say, "Of course you would, Jess. What would you like?" And Jess says, "I would like a drink from each of you, please, of your choice." So they buy Jess a round of drinks, 5 drinks, one from each of them. Because she's a dinosaur, of course.
Doesn't reflect.
It barely touches the sides, and she necks each one at a time and gets ready to walk in a stride. She's not necessarily a drunkard. She's not necessarily a sort of. I mean, she's a bit of a party animal, but you have to understand that she's 8 foot tall and weighs 300 pounds. So this is the equivalent of one drink. It's not. She's not being.
The bartender says, "Oh, sorry, I'm also quite a large fan. I don't suppose you could treat us all just to a very quick, musical number."
And then at that point, TB does get up and go like, raising both right hands again, going, "Actually, we have a prior engagement we really should be getting up to."
And Jess takes this as an excellent excuse to not deliver what she essentially does for money most of the time for free, and decides that actually this TB guy, he's not so bad. Walks back over to the table.
He was just you could just hear he'd put a record on, and you hear, "It's just too good to be true," and he turns it off again and goes, put some rock music back on instead. Lovely. You guys are kind of one of you's buzzing, the other one is also buzzing, the third one's pretty sober. Different type.
Ready to go on a mission.
And you guys, are you all prepared and ready?
Absolutely.
Cool. Like the factory is huge. It kind of covers a lot of the kind of north side of the city. And so you don't really need directions. What's wrong, Nonny? What's happened to your cat?
He fell asleep and he was twitching. He was asleep, like.
Oh my god, he's having a fit!
He's dreaming of what we're talking about. He's the Zord. He's TC.
Tin Cat.
Tin Cat. You head over towards the factory. Built around it are these very large walls, and at the front, kind of where you assume the entrance is, some large, thick, metallic gates which are chained shut.
How tall are they, sorry?
They're actually, I say 6 foot. They're about 10, 15 foot tall. They're big. It's hard to see over, unless you're 16 foot.
Jess, would you like to give me a boost up?
Absolutely, darling. Let's do just that.
Yeah, between us, we're 16 foot.
This feels like a good test, doesn't it, for us working as one cohesive unit? Let's give it a
fantastic.
whirl.
So I am gonna get you guys to. Oh, my application is broken. Lovely. I'm gonna get one of you guys to roll. I guess that would be probably an athletics check, because you're from you, Dave, because you're lifting someone up in the air. Now, way this works, for those of you who haven't played D&D before, which is at least one of the players, if you look at your skills on your skill sheet, which I sent you a picture of earlier on, if you want to roll a skill check, you roll a 20-sided dice. It's generally everything's a 20-sided dice, and then you add on whatever your score is next to that.
Unless you have proficiency. And
then I've added all together. I've done it all for him because I'm so lovely. So on the dice rolling,
I'm a newbie.
On the dice rolling app, if you click on the D20 at the bottom.
Oh, you.
Okay, I'm gonna click on the D20. Here we go.
See if this works.
Like tiny little dinosaur hands, just like together, getting ready for the booster.
That is amazing. You've got a 17. And what is your athletic score?
My athletic score is. Where's that?
Right at the top. Near strength.
Oh, athletic.
Zero. Cool. 17 is still good though. So you give her. She jumps into your hands and you fire her up into the air, and she lands on top of the wall.
So from the top of the wall, what do I see?
The
Meanwhile, I've just kind of buzzed.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
buzzed it
Don't
up
you
and
have
just- Oh yeah. He's just watching you guys doing this, and then TV just goes, just buzzes himself up and stands on top of it, and like waits for you to climb up, and just watches you like as you get up.
I just had a thought. Don't we have a key card?
Yeah.
in fairness, in front of the gates, you couldn't see a key card slot because they're kind of tied together by chains. So you also so there's a very large kind of courtyard. There's kind of a lot of moss, and overgrown weeds everywhere in this courtyard. Something that does stand out from the gate, kind of leading up to a certain door, there looks to be some sort of cloth on the floor that's kind of molded and worn away. So it's hard to see what it was initially.
Let me check my inventory. Oh, it just says an explorer's pack. I can't remember if there's anything in the explorer's pack.
Like what?
There's my first thought was a ball bearing, but if there's anything that's like kind of heavier than that, or if Jeff could just chuck me up a stone, I want to throw something onto that cloth to see if it collapses.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely. There's plenty. You do it, and nothing happens when you throw it on. It looks like it's just like it might have been some sort of cloth carpet or something. You're not sure, but it's whatever it was is rotten away.
Okay.
So,
I just want to.
how
There
are
are
we
many
getting?
traps I'm about to throw myself into. TB, how strong are you? And can we pull Jess up and over?
Certainly.
Because I can from the top and then.
Yeah, well, I think at this point, as soon as you said that, TB just like leans over the side and reaches out with his two right arms, bracing himself, and reaches out for Jess to hang on to, and he's going to attempt to yank her up.
Lovely. What I really.
And then I just want she's off the ground.
Okay, awesome. What I really like, by the way, is that when you lean forward, then Dan, part of your background disappeared. We could just see Nicola behind you, looking very sheepish, going.
I do love how
Smoking a fag. Having a cigarette.
So because you're doing it together, let's say that Kaha's assisting you, TB. That means you get to roll. Kaha.
Skaha.
Oh yeah, I did write that down.
You keep saying Kaha.
No, I've got the opposite of a lisp.
So like Scar, but with
Scar.
Aha. If Aha did Scar, it would be Scar.
It is, to be fair, it is spelled Skaha.
She's.
So I can't blame them for.
Yeah, Can you write down in the Twitch chat how it's spelt?
So for reference, this is a character from the Irish myth of Cuchulainn, but the character in this myth is a Scottish warrior woman, ambiguously a goddess depending on how Christianized the myth was, the version that we have. I will try not to go into a TED talk about it. There is also a Strach on, I think, the first A, but I don't really bother with that because I don't know how to put a Strach on letters on the keyboard.
We're using our imaginations and we're learning in our brains.
If you want to stay on this fucking chat afterwards, you can get an hour-long TED talk about the evolution of Greek mythology with reference to Aphrodite, Dionysus, and the Hermes. So
I don't doubt that for a second.
So what that means is, Dan, you can roll, let's say, a strength check, so not a strength saving thing. What that means when you say rolling at advantage for Dave and anyone watching is you roll 2d20, and you take the highest one. That's what.
Can I add my athletics?
I'll let you roll athletics, yes. There's also, Dave, another thing called disadvantage, and it's, as you might suspect, you roll 2 and take the lowest one. And thank God you had advantage there, because the...
Yeah, because I just rolled a 3.
And a 7. What's your bonus?
So with +2,
It's
so I rolled a
not
9.
that hard. You're working together. Like the DC for that is not too hard. So you manage. It's not glamorous, I'll be honest, but you manage to just about.
I'm struggling a bit, and then I go, and then TC goes underneath Jess and starts like nudging her up, like gets under her butt and starts like pushing and pushing her up.
Jess is not very impressed at this point. This is not very glamorous.
Between all of this, we somehow very uncomfortably with you kind of like sliding up the wall, maybe like,
Lovely.
Jess is kind of pissed off at this point because she feels like she quite gracefully helped Scarhar get inside, and now her own entrance into over the gates is not quite so good.
Yeah, but it's a better story.
It's true. Landing on her feet the other side, she dusts herself off and decides to regain her dignity by testing a new catchphrase. Which maybe she'll roll out into a TV show if she was to get her show back again. And the first one she's going to try is, Dino, do I? Yes, I do.
You write these down, please.
Dino, do I? Yes, I do. And she looks around to see whether her teammates are in any way impressed with it, as a gauge before she then tries to roll out the catchphrase over a wider audience. It's like a little testing ground as far as she's concerned.
Ray doesn't understand the time.
Jess notes this. There's no look. There's no kind of expression on her face. Really, it's obviously gone down like a lead balloon here, and she already knows before she looks at TB that he's probably not going to have understood what's happening, but she looks at anyway, just in case, optimistically, just to see, has this raised a smile in a strange...
Now, I'm going to do something now which is going to require some explanation, for everyone, actually. I'm going to give you, David, inspiration, which is a good thing to have, because I really liked that role-playing there. I liked your new catchphrase. I can do this... or actually, you guys can do it as well to each other. If you think someone's done good role-playing or done something really cool, you can say, I'm giving you inspiration. It's something you either have or you don't have. You can't, like, stack up. You don't have 3 or 4 inspiration. You either have it or you don't. So it's good to use it when you have it. Now, the uses for inspiration in this campaign are a little bit different to how it's used in real Dungeons and Dragons. You can spend your inspiration to do something called a cliche. So what that means is, I've given a few examples here. Hang on, let me just get on. So one of them is too cool for explosions. So if there's an explosion and you're required to make a saving throw, like someone's cast a fireball, you can turn and walk away from the explosion, walk 5 feet away from it, and you only take half the damage if you fail, like your saving throw, basically. But as long as you walk away from it and don't look back, you can spend your inspiration to do that. There's other cool ones, like if someone goes to 0 hit points and dies, you could get on the floor and scream, "No!" And if you do that, all allies around you will have advantage on their next attack roll. So you basically get a little advantage by doing a cliche. There's loads of these, and if you think of a cliche that's not on the list, let me know and I will think of an effect for it.
Where can I find the cliches?
They're in the PDF on page 238, but there's a few other ones for you. You have the buff handshake. So when you meet someone, if you give them a handshake, you have a strength contest, and if you win, they become your best friend instantly. If you win, sorry. You have comic relief, so if you do a witty joke, it will grant advantage to resist any fear saving throws you're doing. I really like this one. Smoker's flick. If you have a cigarette and you flick it onto a pile of flammable materials, it will instantly start a fire or be used to create an explosion. There's some great ones.
Great.
Also, keep an eye. Like there's one which is.
I like this one here. Helmet reveal. You slowly take off your helmet for the first time in front of a group of creatures and flip your hair for the next 10 minutes. Add 220 charisma.
That's
checks.
really I think there's one. I don't know if it's on here, but like it's your last bullet. If you only have one bit of ammunition left, you can spend the cliche, and it will do a lot more damage if it hits. So there's some very good ones. To have a look at those if you want, guys. So Dave, you currently have it.
Cool. So,
but I will.
I need everyone to know my current pain. I accidentally made this rum and coke with Dr. Pepper, and let me tell you, Dr. Pepper and
It
rum
does not.
taste good.
that's not a
I
one.
don't have much rum left, so I'm not gonna fucking waste it.
We like to drink with Nani.
So I'm gonna.
Lovely. But you're currently on top of a wall. Does anyone jump down?
So first of all, so TV sees Jess looking at him and expected for a reply, and thinks for a second, and then goes, "I liked it, but I don't think it worked in this context." And then with that, he also when describing TV, I forgot to mention he's got like a massive butt, and by which I mean a big old insect butt, finishing off with a tail. But what you might notice, or what you will notice now, is that the sting at the end of it is it's kind of metallic and looks. It's basically, it's not like the rest of his body. It's kind of, it looks like it's something else that's been kind of fitted there. And so what he does, he taps it on he like smacks it on the ground twice, and then a kind of almost liquid metal kind of mesh starts to kind of come up through from his tail, and kind of encompasses all the bits of his exoskeleton that aren't already shelled. All the bit, it goes through all the crevices and kind of fills it all out, and it ends with kind of putting like a shield over his face that kind of looks like an insect wasp. So not like so with the mandibles as well. And then he turns and. Yeah, and then he's standing there and he's ready. And he's like,
he looks super cool. It's fully armored.
"Oh,
Wow, that was an elaborate transformation, darling, but it was really quite something.
So are you standing on the floor now?
Yeah, I buzzed down
Courtyard.
to
Cool.
the floor.
You land on the floor and nothing happens.
Jess leaps into the air and does the sort of, the superhero leap, which is quite considerable size, but she does it with her tiny hands and punches the ground as she lands.
With a tiny like T-Rex kind of hand.
Yeah, tiny
No,
T-Rex.
no, you got nice long arms.
Okay, no, I haven't.
You're not a T-Rex dinosaur.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
You can have tiny arms if you want them. I just thought it might limit you.
What kind of dinosaur is Jess? Sorry, I might have missed this. What like breed does she most wobble herself on?
Steiceran. So basically, she has a little horn on her nose and a little bit.
She's got a plate with lots of little.
Plate, yeah.
Oh, so kind of like Stegosaurus. No, not Stego, not a Triceratops.
Not a Triceratops. No, the specific sub race is Steiceran. Yes, Nani.
I just want to draw attention to the fantastic pun made by A Frosty in the chat. I don't know if any of you are looking at the chat, but yeah, I added some extra Skaha context about stuff. You can read it in the chat. It's very interesting. Ask me for more afterwards, and I will TED Talk about it. But yeah, they said, gotta say, this mythology TED Talk afterwards sounds Finn McCool. And if that doesn't make sense, Finn McCool is also a figure from Irish folklore.
Well done, Adam. You've
and-
impressed Nunny very much.
I would like to draw attention to that, please. Thank you.
I didn't know there was going to be Irish folklore-based puns during this session, and for one, I'm very impressed.
I feel woefully unprepared for Irish folklore puns.
I don't have any. I barely even got dinosaur puns.
Daniel and David have not been any of the one shots that we've been doing. So you are going to discover throughout the course of this that my primary way of communicating is through, hey, fun fact.
There is a lot of that.
On Sunday, everyone got a lot of fun.
I love facts.
Using our imaginations, but also learning in our brains.
What a great show this is. Let your kids watch it.
Fuck yeah!
No, shut up, you twat. Okay.
Friendly.
I'm joking. Okay.
Anyone forgot the kid-friendly sex ed quiz?
So, Jess, you're jumping down. Are you trying to not hurt yourself when you jump 15 foot to land on the ground? Dave.
Me?
Yeah, you just said you were going to do a superhero jump onto the floor to look cool.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, Jess is 8 foot tall, so it's not a terrifying amount of distance to jump.
That's fine. The DC, as we say, it won't be high. Can you just roll an acrobatics check, just to see how cool it looks? And if you roll,
no worries.
If you roll a natural 1, then you might hurt yourself a little bit.
might twist an ankle, perhaps.
Exactly that. But you do.
Okay, which that.
So roll a
D20.
D20. Roll? So it's always D20 unless it's damage, basically.
Okay, cool. Okay, right, here we go.
Okay,
3.
3.
Got it.
And what's your bonus to that? It'd be next to your dexterity. So acrobatics.
Okay, 5.
Okay, so 8. That's not that bad then. You didn't roll a natural 1, which is generally an automatic fail. But I don't really care about that. So yeah, you land. You don't hurt yourself, but you do kind of like a forward roll as you land. I think you're probably going to fall over, but you styled it out, and jump up the other side and doing a dismount.
That's just got the way. Ta-da! Dino, do I? Yes, I do.
Oh. So Skaha also jumps down off the gate. She does not attempt to do the superhero. She just dives and does a little roll. And assuming that I do not roll a nat 1, when she successfully completes it for reasons beyond her immediate knowledge, she goes, parkour.
Fantastic. Roll a D20.
See.
Where's the D20?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
And cool. I go because you didn't add up any of my skills, so that would be with a +5.
I thought that sounds about right. I thought you could handle it yourself. I was wrong. I'm sorry. You just did. Well done.
Because it's +3 deck plus
you're just
2
math shaming
proficiency.
me. But yeah, that's an 18 in total, which is she looks super cool. Annoyingly cool to Jess.
Whilst very much not trying to look cool.
Yes.
Saha does not give a shit.
Timmy turns to Jess and awkwardly raises a thumb and goes, "That was better."
Lovely. You're in this courtyard now, and you can see that bit of cloth that's gone all mouldy leads up to a door, which kind of about 20 foot away.
I hate this drink so much.
What do you do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Timmy's just gonna head towards the door. He's just gonna walk. He's gonna do a perception check. He's going to do. I want to do just to check his surroundings.
Okay, absolutely, yes. So perception is another skill, David. So yeah, roll a d20 and add on your perception. So that's so what's that in total?
That is an 8.
Cool. It's actually quite dark. It's late in the evening, and what's quite nice about nights in Cloud City is that you can often see the stars because you're kind of floating above the clouds. So you can see, but it's still dark, and you can't really see a lot kind of around here. What you do spot though is the door, as you get close to it, seems to be open ajar.
Okay. I'm gonna just head towards the door and open it.
Whilst he's heading towards the door, I would like to take out my quarterstaff.
Your real quarterstaff or your holographic quarterstaff?
Yeah, the whole. I don't have any real weapons, so it is just like it starts with some sparks around my hands, which then kind of form together into just this like quarterstaff made of light. So I want to be fucking ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like if he's wandering straight into the weird ass factory. Oh, we can see someone's hands with. Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the stream. I could see hands behind him.
It's Nicola. Lovely Nicola.
Hey, Nicola.
She looks almost like, oh, it's lovely. Yeah, and Jess, are you going in?
Jess is just sort of wandering in behind TB. She's fairly nonplussed. She's confident in her in her ability as a dinosaur to just be quite large and intimidating. And at this point, isn't feeling especially cautious. She sees no reason to worry.
Cool.
James, I have a quick mechanics question.
Yeah.
Holographic weapons. In my head, they glow.
They do, but not of any use. Like it's not gonna emit a 10-foot radius.
I imagine the same amount of light ability as like a lightsaber. Like they wouldn't light up a room, but if I held them close to something, I could read like something on a wall.
Yeah, if it was really, really close, definitely, totally, absolutely.
TB stops abruptly and turns around to the other two and goes, "I must apologize. It's been some time since I've worked with others. I forget that there are some formalities that make working together more useful. My skill set is I am a fighter. I have a weapon. I have this suit. I fly. I feel like it would be good for us to know each other's skill sets so that we know how to use each other in battle." And then he stares at you expectantly. Well, I mean, you think he's staring? You can never tell where he's looking because he's got a million eyes. So
I feel like he is possibly questioning the fact I just summoned a quarterstaff out of nowhere. It's like, well, yes, I, as a ray from apparently the storm plane, allegedly, I did spend some time learning how to focus that lightning into specific weaponry. I'm not very good at it yet, but I do have a small amount of weapons that I can call upon. That's me.
Are you ranged or close combat?
I'm mainly close, but I do have a bow if needs be.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
Jess steps forward and opens up a small bright pink leotard and says, "Well, darlings, I've got this blaster, I've got this, but more importantly, I have this boombox." She holds the boombox up in the air. "This air horn. And this keytar." And she pulls the keytar out, throws it around her body and catches it on the other side, and then plays a little solo on it.
TV is just kind of like going, just kind of like trying to, his head's kind of buzzing, just going.
Mr. DM.
Yes.
Can I go to the bathroom, please?
Of course. I was going to suggest that we take a little break around now anyway, if you guys want to go to the toilet. But you guys know what your skills are, and very slowly.
Okay, well, let's close it out with a line.
Yeah, I was going to say you very slowly open the door.
Well, now that we've got that out of the way.
Very good. Perfect.
Dun, 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 dun.
We'll see you back in about 5 to 10 minutes,
God.
guys. 5 to 10 minutes.
Bye.
Oh,
So anyway,
I thought that was.
told him if you want to pay extra.
I was just about to do that, Joe. You got there first.
Well done, guys.
Got something.
Well done.
Dave's forgot something. Lovely. Welcome back to Dragon Wheels, the Retroverse. Thanks for sticking around, if indeed you have.
And fuck
if you haven't,
didn't.
How dare you? What is
Fuck
wrong?
outta here. If you didn't stick around,
We're having
I
fun
hate
here.
you. I didn't. Don't. I just forgot that this is actually then saved and people can watch it back later. So
Yeah.
I
So
don't.
if you've left whilst live, but have actually come back to watch it, kind of in retrospect, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're not one of those people.
Lovely. Brilliant. Let's carry on. TB, you open up the door. Oh, beautiful. TB, you open up the door and look inside this room. It's dark, but as you kind of open the door, lights just kind of automatically seems to come on. Some kind of neon strip lighting, and it lights up the room, albeit a bit dimly. It's a relatively small room. It looks like an entrance hall of sorts. On one wall, kind of to your right, you see what looks to be kind of weird-looking coat hangers. Out of the wall, there's like kind of these hands that just come out, and they're all gold-plated, although they all look a bit scuffed. There's about 6 of them sticking out of the wall. 1 or 2 of them are still holding coats. And on the other wall, there's just kind of behind kind of a kind of tattered curtain. There's just a lot of writing, a lot of which seems to be faded away. The top of the writing, all very, very kind of large, but it gets smaller and smaller and smaller as it goes down.
No, I don't even like sweets.
You've not seen any sweets yet.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Gaha doesn't know why sweets were suddenly on her mind.
I see. What do you do?
So, sorry, can you just do the description again real quick?
DM.
Just rewind a second, DM. Give me that again. One more time.
It's so on one side of the wall, there's kind of these, but essentially look like gold hands coming out of the walls, and some of the hands are holding coats as if they're coat hangers or coat hooks. Pardon? Yes. And on the other wall, there's a kind of, it's literally a part of the wall. It's all lots of writing on it, which is mostly faded, but you can see the top. There's very big letters, and then the font size gets smaller and smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. A lot of it's kind of looks to be torn and ripped, but all faded away, so it's hard to read what a lot of it says.
Jess leans in closely and observes the writing and tries to read it.
Cool. You can see some of the words at the top. It seems to say, whereas the management cannot be held responsible. But beyond that, it starts to get smaller and smaller. You see words such as undersigned, undertake responsibility, and disagreement. You will become just like little snippets of words as it goes down, but it's like almost impossible to read it kind of close to the bottom.
Jess turns to the other 2 and says,
I totally understand how excited I am to have actually understood a reference for once in my goddamn life. So exciting!
because I've got a golden ticket.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was genuinely one of my special interests as a kid. I watched that film so many times between the ages of like 10 and 12.
This adventure may ruin it. Opposite you, there's only one other door that leads out of this room as well. It's kind of a very kind of large, ornate door with kind of circles kind of drawn all over it. There's no handle on it, but you can see what looks to be a kind of a slot next to it for a key card to go in.
Well, we do indeed have a golden key card.
After you die.
And then just kept cutting on because he's got intelligence of 8. TV goes, that's the place for the key card. After you both have already started walking towards it.
The door is quite close to where the hands are, just in case you want to do anything, or if you want to investigate them.
I don't.
Because I am the one person allowed to metagame, I'm going to investigate the hands, if that is okay. And if I'm remembering correctly, investigate is an actual thing.
Yep. I kind of imagine this being this, like, we're all just walking towards it, and then you have this moment of just going, stop, almost hearing a voice from on high.
I am going to investigate the hands, which I have proficiency in. I don't understand what I mean by proficiency. I just know I'm good at looking at shit.
Cool. Roll to investigate that particular area of the room.
I get to roll something. What did I roll? I can't actually see. Oh shit! I rolled a 20. Which is
you got a natural 20.
Yeah, that was a nat 20.
Fantastic. You kind of look. There's this kind of as I say, there's a couple of coats in them. In one of the coats, you find.
It better be something good.
Well, what is strange? It looks like some nuts, and another one you find a card for someone who sells automobiles. And as you're kind of, it's all quite confusing. And as you're kind of looking at them, and because you rolled so highly, you won't be caught by surprise. But one of the hands starts to move and jumps at you and tries to claw at your face. So, for the first time, let's roll initiative.
Oh shit, son.
So this is the way you do this, Dave. I don't know if you remember. Everyone rolls a d20 and adds their initiative score, which is normally equal to your dexterity. Yours is +3, I believe, Dave.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. It's a good habit to get in.
20 is my initiative.
You got a what now?
So 17 + 3, so 20.
Fantastic. Jess rolled a 9.
Where's my bloody initiative? Oh, it's there.
So yes. That is 12.
That's correct. That's 9 + 3.
Maths degree. And what did you get?
I rolled a mighty 4.
Plus anything?
+5 is 9.
Why have you got +5 to your initiative?
Because I have +3 dexterity, and then I have +3. I wrote it down wrong.
Lovely stuff.
So in fact, I got 7.
Fantastic. So
I think I wrote down my saving modifier like an idiot.
Cool, Scarha. One of these hands, or a few of these hands, start to try and reach out towards you, but you see it coming. What do you do?
So I just had a thought, right?
Yeah.
So I know that in regular D&D, you can say, I draw this and attack, right? And that's a thing.
Yep.
Because I don't think hitting the hand with a stick is going to be super effective, which is effectively what a quarterstaff is. So I want to grab out my hand axe and then just swipe at it.
Is that your... okay, so you're basically summoning a new axe, basically.
Yeah.
And attacking it.
Wait, may I, if this isn't something I need to roll on, may I give the visual trappings of this?
Please do.
Okay, so I have the quarterstaff in my offhand, which to me is my right hand because I'm a lefty fuck. And then, so with my left hand, I start to make the sweeping motion, and like as the motion starts, you see the kind of sparks come out, which then kind of solidify, almost like they're filling an invisible outline of an axe. So by the time that it goes to either connect or not, as the roll may say.
Yeah. Better hit now.
Fantastic. Do you want to roll a d20 and add your attack?
Which is my strength, is that right?
A hand axe, I believe, is a finesse weapon, which means you can use your dexterity if you want to.
Oh, I still have a higher dex than I thought it was higher. Cool. In which case, that is a 14.
Fantastic. That is indeed a hit. You kind of cut your axe into it. I'm not going to make you roll because they don't have a huge amount of hit points, but you slice the fingers off this thing, and it kind of falls to the floor. And as you do, two of the hands that were near it kind of... it's hard to read the expression of a hand, but they do look rather angry. They do this. As they also try and claw over towards you. Let's roll for these.
Question.
Yes, babes?
Are these things not attached to the wall?
Currently, yes, but they seem to have a bit of reach.
Oh.
The ones closest are like this. A bit further away, they're like this. And the ones further away are just doing that at me.
What is your armor class, please, Skahar?
15.
15. One of them, probably you're just too far away. It's grasping but can't reach you. One of them, however, does manage to connect with you and kind of does a scratch kind of across your face, doing a whopping 2 damage, leaving a little bit of a cut upon your face as it does. The other 3 hands, one of them kind of throws itself off the wall, detaching itself, flying towards you, Dan. 2 of them come towards you, Dave. And what are your armor classes? Oh, by the way, Dave, I invested in some armor for your character, so you should
Thanks very much.
a little bit less
very
money.
kind.
I'm guessing what's your armor class, Dan?
My armor class is 15.
Cool.
Mine is also 15.
Nice.
Cool. So you, David, take 6 damage as these 2 kind of grab onto your legs and start kind of clawing into them through your armor. Dan, you take 5 damage as one of them, as it flies across the room, punches you in the face.
That's me down to 4 hit points.
Dave's on 1 hit point, so.
Oh.
10. I feel great.
It is now Jess. It's your go. You've got 2 hands attached. Well, on you.
Okay. Right. Let's just have a little look and see what I've got going on here. My keytar at this stage is not really. I mean, it's not really something to be used in combat, is it?
You can use it to do some sweet moves. Magic. That's where your magic comes from.
Okay, right. So that comes out of my keytar. Of course it does. For the time being, I think perhaps I'll pull my blaster out. I think that's what Jess does.
It might be hard to fight because they're like grabbing onto you. It's going to be hard to shoot them without shooting yourself.
What are you talking about? They're grabbing my ankles. They're holding onto the.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, I would argue that something that's like shooting a gun at your feet with something that's on your feet, if you you would be at disadvantage to roll.
All right.
Which means it's more likely that you miss and shoot yourself in the foot.
Okay, all right. All right,
Well,
I'll take your word for it.
Do it.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Don't let us talk you out of a sweet
Fantastic.
move.
Yeah.
I'm just explaining the risks. And bear in mind, you have 1 hit point left.
There.
Jess pulls the blaster out of her leopard
Go
print.
hard or go home.
Exactly, yes. Her leopard print jumpsuit, spins it round in her hand, points it down towards the hands, and pulls the trigger, shouting, "Yeehaw!"
Fantastic. So this is an attack roll for you.
Can I also turn the boombox on at the same time, or is that not
Absolutely,
cool?
you can. That as a free action,
Also,
I will let you do
Could
that.
you use your cliche at this point to help you out?
Oh yeah, that's such a great shout. What cliches? Let's see. What can we pull out? Okay. What about this? One-liner. If you kill an enemy, you can give a quippy one-liner as they die. So one line is good enough. GM's discretion. You recover 1 hit die.
Oh yeah, that definitely 100%. Roll to hit it first. So roll 2d20
Okay.
and take the lowest one. And you're adding 5 to both of these
Okay.
because I've memorised your character sheet.
Okay, so here we go.
Try hard.
Rolled a 1. I'm going to roll another.
I mean, both rolls weren't great.
No, they were
But
terrible.
you got a 9 and a 10 there. But don't worry, they're not bad enough that you miss and shoot yourself in the foot.
Okay, that's good news. Can I say my one-liner?
Well, only if you you only get it if you that cliche if you kill something.
Oh, okay. In that case, I don't want to use my one-liner. I mean, I might just say it anyway, but not use it as.
Please, I beg you to save it for the next time because I really want to hear it when you kill something. Dan,
right.
It's TB's go, and someone has suggested that TB should be your surname and Mike should be your first name, which I think is
Mike Tuberculosis.
I think it's a
TB.
reference to.
Oh, like it's a reference.
It's a reference.
A counter offer.
Yes.
That we should call you. We should call you confirmed. So you're TB confirmed.
See,
doesn't Jess roll damage?
Your
no,
name is TB.
Jess missed, unfortunately.
Oh, right, missed. But didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't,
Yeah.
didn't
I looked cool doing
really
it.
sorry, but I need to go pee
Go
again.
for it. We're about to see if Dan can do something.
I believe in you. You're fantastic. We love you.
Come on, Mike TB.
Okay, so having just been killed by this like disembodied hand off the wall, which basically sedate until now, but as anyone who's ever tried to swat away a wasp knows, as soon as any sort of aggression happens, he is livid. He is fucking livid. So he quickly from one of the straps about his person, he pulls through this kind of it looks kind of like an unfinished kind of sword. It's kind of like half finished, which then as he pulls it out buzzes into life, and it's a laser sword that's part of his armor. So he's going to take a swipe at the hand that's attacking him. And it's a crit fail.
Oh no!
Oh man, I've just been
going
rolling
so
absolute
badly.
pants today. I'm gonna go on record as saying I don't like not being able to roll dice with my own hands, damn it. But I'm gonna shut up about it from now
When you
on.
do this,
I hope it will fail
It's not-
from my
you can't-
back.
You can't influence it with your brain power and cosmic forces if you don't get to touch it. That's right.
that's true. Nonny, it's your go. There's two hands.
Oh wait, no.
Oh,
hold
sorry,
on,
sorry.
Hold on. Using what?
Not so fast, DM.
Having swiped and missed at the hand, it's then going to. I'm going to use my sting bonus attack, which I can use my stinger as a bonus attack with each attack that I have.
Oh, of course. Okay. It's a bonus attack. You don't get to add on like your strength damage or dex damage, but that's absolutely fine.
Cool. So
That's better.
that's better. That's that's plus my dex, so that's 20.
Cool.
So
roll.
whips it around, stings the bastard. So that's going to be 2d4.
It's dead.
2 damage.
That's its hit points, mate. It's dead.
Oh, nice. Cool. So I whip it around and like jab my stinger through the hand and pinning it into the ground.
Awesome. Dave, I just wanted to remind you of you can cast your spell, any of your spells, but your cantrip, one of them is a reaction, so you can give anyone a very quick +1 to any of their rolls if you wanted to.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that now, but I will. I could potentially do that, right?
Absolutely.
Can I do that? Do I do that after the roll?
You can do it after the roll, but before I say whether it's a success or not.
Okay.
Or I end my go. Can I just how many hands are still?
There's still 4. 2 of them are still on the wall, kind of near where Scarhar is, and 2 are kind of attached to Jess at the moment.
Who looks like they're in the most?
Jess looks like she's on her last legs currently.
I've got 1 hit point left.
Right. So I'm gonna then like almost a blur is the speed at which he runs in his suit now. So I'm gonna run. TB charges over towards Jess Naruto style, kind of like arms all four back.
Yeah. Perfect. Lovely. That is your turn. Just so you guys, David knows, I think Nonny knows this already. Every round in your turn, there are 3 or 4 things you can do. You can do one of each thing. So you have your main action, which can be to cast a spell or to attack. You have your move action, which means you can move wherever your speed is. I think, Dave, yours is 30 feet. So you can move your action. And you have a bonus action, which, like, something will say if it's a bonus action. I don't think you... Oh, you do have bonus actions. You've got your hype man ability.
Oh, yeah.
And your reaction, which basically is another thing. You have one of those per round, basically. So a reaction could be if a creature leaves tries to get away from you, you can attack it as an opportunity attack, for example.
Got
Cool.
it.
I'll helpfully remind you of this as we go along. Nonny, it's
Thank
Scarhar's go.
I just want to one thing quickly.
Yep.
Actually, so this stinger attack, it's just for future. It doesn't count as a bonus attack. So I still do add strength or dex to add damage.
If my memory serves, which often
I'm just reading the rule book.
True, but as far as I remember, you can use it as an attack if you want to. It's like 2-weapon fighting, so you can use it to as like your offhand weapon if you wanted to, and if you attack with it as your main thing, then you can add your strength or dex or whatever. If you're using like 1-weapon attack and then using that as a second attack, then you don't add your strength because that's just a kind of a go-to thing for.
I might have completely misunderstood it. Maybe I don't get a bonus attack after all.
I let you do it as a bonus attack. That's absolutely fine.
It's quite unclear. Sorry. Well, we can have this conversation another time.
That's absolutely fine.
Sorry, Nonny, your turn.
Cool. I was just letting you enjoy the sleeping cat whilst that rules discussion was happening.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I just thought he was being exceptionally cute and asleep, and I just saw on the stream that there was even a little ear twitch.
It's always fun when you go to the toilet and it's just the cat head there, and it looks like we're just playing with a cat.
Yeah.
Your move, Cat.
Honestly, it's only when I'm streaming that he stays here when I go to the toilet. Any other time of the day, if I go to the toilet, he is on my lap.
Ah.
He's a needy little cunt, and I love him.
Sorry, Twitch. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
We're allowed to say cunt, but we're not allowed
Don't
to say...
Dad there!
What are they going
What
to
about
do?
incel?
Demonetize
Are we allowed
us?
to call people incels?
We can't say incel either.
No, we're not allowed to say simp, incel, or virgin, okay?
Gammon? Can we call people gammons?
Yeah, they don't go on Twitch.
I should tell you about my...
What are you doing?
What's happening?
What am I doing? So, I want to check. So my hand axe can be a throwing weapon, yeah? So I had a wonderful realization earlier that I never need to worry about keeping track of my ammo with this character.
Absolutely not.
Because she got 30 arrows.
No,
and any holographic...
you don't have any arrows. You don't need that many arrows. They just, like, when you create your bow, they just appear.
Okay, because I wrote it down that it was like just like it was on the D&D website, where it's like you get a longbow and 3. But because it's holographic, at the end of my turn, they all disappear and come back to me anyway.
Exactly.
So, I am going to throw my axe at the hand nearest Jess.
There's 2,
Okay.
very like on her essentially, but yeah, that's absolutely fine. Go for it. Roll to attack.
Quite gropey, inappropriately gropey hands.
Yes, the worst kind of hands.
I'm imagining, you know, in You know in Labyrinth when she falls down the
Yeah,
That
that bit's gross.
Yeah,
is what I'm imagining.
also like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I don't think they get super grabby in the Chocolate Factory though.
Like they're not.
Do they?
Do you want to roll to hit?
So that would be okay. So my
Yep.
attack bonus is just next to my weapon.
You hit. Don't worry. You rolled a 12.
I realized that time I did a +3 and it should have been a +4.
Do you want to roll damage? Actually, you kill it. Like the minimum you can do on this, I think, is like.
Let me roll it anyway.
Yeah, you kill it
5.
easily. Jess, an axe comes flying towards you and just knocks one of these hand things off you. And as it gets pinned to the floor, shattering into, God knows what, it kind of just disappears out of existence. There were 3 hands left.
May I for a moment?
Please.
So if Jess looks to see where the axe is coming, I just wink at her.
Lovely.
That's all I can say.
Jubbly.
Jess turns around and says, "You Tyrannosaurus wrecked that shit, darling."
The hands that were.
Okay.
I just understand the pun.
One of the hands, the one that's still on you, is still trying to grab you, but somehow manages to completely miss. But you're probably ready for it, and maybe it's just stunned by the death of its brother. The 2 that are on the wall, however, as you turn around, Skaha, to throw the axe, they reach out to try and grab you, and they do. They manage to do a couple of grabs, doing an annoyingly large amount of damage. They do 7 damage to you.
Where did I
I
put
don't
my
know.
pen?
Jess, what are you doing?
I put my pen.
Where is this?
Currently, it's trying to go up your skirt.
I'm not wearing a skirt. I'm wearing a jumpsuit.
It's trying to go up your jumpsuit.
It's very painful.
Absolutely.
You know when you get someone like if you grab someone up the nostril
Yeah,
and it's like ow, even though they're not doing much, that's what they've done. They've kind of put their finger in my ear.
they
and it's like,
definitely.
ow, ow.
Yeah, just from behind, you weren't kind of. Oh God! Like they did a fish hook like that.
Yeah, and it's very unpleasant.
What is Jess doing, David?
Have you got any suggestions of perhaps some good tact here? You know, is it worth cracking out a spell here? Do you think?
You can definitely, and I, in fact, encourage you to use vicious mockery on these things.
Vicious mockery. Okay,
That's a cantrip. So, give an insult to one, and then they have to make a roll to. I think it's a wisdom saving throw, to not get offended and die from psychic damage. And I'm not gonna lie, their wisdom is not great.
So Jess turns around to the remaining hand that's grabbing her at the moment and says, "What are you, a baby's hand?" That's literally the best I could come up with.
That's fine. So I have to roll to beat that. I rolled a 4, which will not beat your spell save at all. So roll 1d4 to see how much damage you do.
Really, this jumpsuit is made of synthetic materials. It's very warm.
It is.
1. I rolled a 1.
One. What?
Oh, mate.
It kind of goes. If you can just see, kind of the hand goes. Ugh. And it shrivels up. It's not quite dead, but I believe with that attack, you have advantage to hit it or disadvantage.
Can I stamp on it?
Not if you've cast a spell, unfortunately, because that would cast.
Okay.
What's your full? What on the vicious mockery? What does it say?
So vicious mockery. It says, "You unleash a string of insults." I feel like I really didn't unleash a string there. I probably should have done more. But I unleash a string of insults laced with subtle enchantments at a creature you can see within range. If the target can hear you, though it need not understand you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, I thought so. It's a saving throw, so you don't have to do a roll at all.
No, I did the roll already, so don't worry. And then what does it say? You take 1d4
and
psychic.
And have
Oh,
yeah,
right,
psychic
gotcha.
damage, and have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next
That's amazing. Cool. So that's actually really good because it means it's going to be a lot less likely to hit you the next time round.
Great.
What are you doing,
I feel like I should have unleashed a string of insults rather than just say, "What are you? What are you? A baby's hand? You're a shitty little hand with shitty little fingers. You dirty little fucking gropey hand.
I'm going to
give
you the finger.
Fuck you.
Lovely. Dan, what? Sorry, is there anything else that you want to do, Dave? Oh, wait.
Else I can?
Yes. As a reaction, I believe you can add that 1 to your damage, so you can kill it.
Okay, let's do that.
So you do like an air guitar, and it goes nah! And shatters. Fantastic, and it shatters into a lot of pieces. Would you like to do your witty one-liner to get back your hit points?
Yes.
What's the one-liner?
I knew that air guitar would come in handy.
Fantastic. Oh god. Genuinely, that's amazing. Roll 1d6 and you get that many hit points back.
I'm sorry, everybody.
No, that was amazing.
1d6. I rolled a 1.
Roll it again, please. I'm feeling bad. I feel really bad.
Sake. For the love of God.
There you go. That's 6. There you go. You get 6. You're back to full health now. Okay, I was too jealous.
Oh, thank God.
Lovely. Dan, it is now your go. There are 2 hands left, both on the wall.
Right. Seeing as he Naruto'd over there, only to see both hands be felled before he got there. He turns, sees the wall. The sword, mid-motion, transforms from the laser sword into a laser blaster rifle, as part of his
absolutely
neural weapon, and he unleashes a salvo at the hand that attacked.
Go for it, Skaha.
Skaha. That's the one. Skaha. Scar and Aha.
I super make it easy for everyone. Usually that my character spells daily in my D&D campaign. It's just hell.
10.
Cool. Is that plus anything, or is that with your?
That's with my modifier. Yeah.
That is not enough to hit, unfortunately.
It's rolling absolute. This app. I hate this app.
If you were rolling 20, 20, 20, 20, you'd love this app.
It's true. He's not wrong.
Like I've just done.
If things were better, he'd like them better.
Nonna, it's your go. If you want, for your full action, you can disengage, which means you can get away from the ones on the wall if you wanted to.
Hold on. I didn't move in my action, did I?
That's fine.
'Cause I was gonna.
What are you doing?
I want to move. I'm gonna move over to put myself kind of in between. Having missed, I'm gonna kind of get basically to give her some backup. To try and get in the way, but put myself bodily at the hands.
So you're there in between me and the hand that's in my ear, like ow, ow,
No,
ow.
well, I didn't know exactly. Basically, I'm over there to try and
be close.
Help.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm within attack range, basically.
Okay. So it's me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. In which case I am gonna summon back the axe. And so the fun fact, I was actually in my intervention training like yesterday. And part of that was that we were learning how to physically intervene if somebody was getting aggressive in terms of holds, but also in terms of escapes. And one of the things that we learned in terms of how to escape when somebody is attempting to hold on to us or grab onto us with aggressive intent was that the first thing you want to do is you want to grab onto their wrist to essentially fix their wrist to limit what they can do to you. So what I want to do is offhand grabs onto the wrist that's grabbing onto me, and on hand, is it called the on hand? I know it's called the offhand.
Yeah. I don't know. Yes, say the on hand.
If you like.
Yeah, and the on hand summons back the axe again to just chop down on the wrist.
Fantastic. Roll to hit.
Cool. And that's a D20.
I just found out that my barrage of insults that I threw out echoed throughout the entire house that I'm in. I'm staying with my wife Sarah's in-laws. My wife Sarah's in-laws, my in-laws, her parents at the moment. So literally, all they heard was me shouting, insulting a hand.
You fucking hand! What are you doing?
You fucking bloody fingers, baby hand, motherfucker! Yeah, so
that's amazing.
Which is fine. I mean, they saw the funny side of it, of course, but that's what happened.
Good. Scarha, you instantly kind of grab the wrist, pull it forward, yank it off the wall, and then smash it and slash it right in half, and it collapses to the floor. There's only one hand left, and looking for everyone, it's now right next to TB. 17 plus 20 hits you, right?
Well,
You take
yep.
You take 4 damage as you run up. It turns into a fist and punches into your face.
And I'm knocked out. And as I sink to my knees, like, finally, and
collapses onto the floor.
I am dead.
You're not dead. You're not dead yet. You're not dead yet.
Have healing abilities.
Yes. But it is now Jess's go.
Have I got anything else? Have I got anything that can help TB out here?
Yeah, you've got Cure Wounds as one of your first level spells.
That sounds good. I should probably do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, after.
All right, I'll do that afterward. In that case, then I'm going to crack out. I think I'm going to crack out my whip. I think that.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That feels like a stylish. It feels like this thing, and Jess is going to finish off in style because that's Jess's way. So Jess pulls out the whip, cracks it around and then attempts to smash to crack it on the end of the hand.
This is awesome. Go roll to hit, please. Make it a good one.
Okay. Here we go. It's a 5.
Lovely. That is a miss. Unfortunately, that is a miss.
For the love of God.
TB, can you roll your first death saving throw? What that means is you roll a d20. If it's 10 or above,
obviously it's a fail.
That is, you roll a 2. That's a fail. If it's below 10, it's a fail. If it's above, if you fail.
I haven't rolled above 10.
David, so you know if you get 3 fails if you get 3 fails, you're dead. If you get 3 successes, you stabilize and you're all right. If you're on a natural 1, if you get a natural 1, you get 2 automatic fails. If you get a natural 20, you come back to 1 hit point. Cool. Nunny, you've got 1 hand left, and everyone's looking worse for wear.
How close is this hand to me?
It's close enough for you to hit with an axe or in close combat.
Is it close enough for me to again do the grab and?
Absolutely, yeah. It's just.
Let's call it an impromptu amputation.
Yes, why not? Let's not. Well, roll to hit.
So, let's have a look. So
that hits. You manage to, as it just as it knocks out this hand, this whip kind of cracks right next to it, and it turns around to try and grab the whip. And as it does, you amputate this hand, cleaving it in twain, and you are left mostly still standing.
Cool. I kind of look to Jess and be like, and this is why it's important to pay attention during your intervention training, but I don't know what intervention training is.
Good. Dave, do you want to cast Cure Wounds on the poor wasp?
Yeah, I'm going to cure the wasp.
Cool. So you basically
let's do that. That sounds like
all you got to do is knock off one. Basically, mark that you've used one of your spells.
Is this a magical like curing of wounds, or can it be sort of a tender 80s action movie? You know, sort of like cleaning them off.
It is. You are using a magical thing, so you have to touch him, but you can whatever else you do, however your magic manifests. You tell me.
Jess holds the wasp, picks the wasp up, picks TB up in her tiny but still very strong arms, and takes a little cloth and just nurses him gently. And I assume perhaps he winces. I'm not really sure, but he attempts to cure the wounds.
Cool. Roll 2d4.
Gee, 2d4. Here we go. 1, 2.
6, 7. So you get 8 hit points back.
You are
amazing.
You are welcome.
So TB sort of like the lids that cover the I guess he has lids that cover the his eyes, kind of like his helmet kind of like recedes back, and he kind of like blinks up at you and goes, "Oh, damn it. Thanks, I guess. I really thought it was the time. Although, having said that, it would really have been a shitty way to go, to be torn apart by a bunch of disembodied hands. So, thanks."
Fantastic. Do you put the gold keycard in the slot?
I can't help but feel that TB is slowly metamorphosizing into Jack Nicholson.
It's very much one of the inspirations for this role, yes.
Do you put it in the slot?
I think we should talk about it.
Yes.
You've got this far.
Cool. And you put the card in the slot. There is a beep as the door opens, and you see a long, long corridor. And we will end it there for this week.
A corridor, you
I know
say?
what film I'm going to watch this week.
No, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Scene for scene, it's the same.
I'm glad it's not a game. You shut your whore mouth.
No.
Okay.
Not to this level where you revise. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you guys for playing. Do you guys want to promote anything before we click off?
Yes, I would. I'd like to promote keeping social distancing and mask wearing in all public places, especially indoors, in shops, supermarkets, anywhere where you're coming across public people. Wear your mask. Don't be an asshole.
Wear your mask. Don't be an ass.
I concur.
Nonny?
Can I actually promote sorry, I'm typing out so that I can send out the thing. So I am going to be doing a talk on Saturday as part of Rural Gothic's Queer Horror Weekend. It is a weekend full of talks which are hosted on Zoom by some absolutely fantastic academics and also me. I'm going to be talking about queer readings of internalized homophobia in Lovecraft's work. It is £10 for a ticket for the full weekend, and there's like 10 different fears. I think 10. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 10. And I am definitely the worst of them all, but they are all fantastic, and I can't wait to see everybody else's. So I'm gonna out my Twitter handle and also Rural Gothic's Twitter handle. So that's the actual thing that I need to plug, because like I'm super hype and there's some fantastic academics. So if you are interested in anything gay or anything horror related, that's the thing to be looking at. Okay.
Awesome. And I later on today will be playing on DM Chronicles Twitch. Sorry, I auto-corrected there a bit too soon. Yes, I will be playing my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle character, which is a Tortle monk, which will be about midnight in GMT time, or you can work it out from there. Also, we'll be back on Sunday with a one-shot. Nonny will be there playing The Witch is Dead, which already is I'm really super excited about, where we play witches familiars who are trying to work out how to bring the witch back from the dead. I am playing a corgi who can breathe fire.
Excellent.
I'm playing a shovel-nosed tree frog.
Indeed. So thank you so much. We'll be back again playing.
Guess how that felt.
We'll be playing this again next week. So if you want to see what happens in the factory, join us then. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
No.